Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Way I See It. My name is Lucy Superfox, and this is my podcast. So, I wanted to do a podcast about the reason why I haven't done a podcast this week. And it's taken me like 5 days to even get up to the place where I could even record a podcast about the fact that I couldn't do a podcast. And I really feel that I'm just going through a bit of a window of lack of inspiration. And I actually thought, what a great topic to share. What to do when inspiration is nowhere to be found. And I've been through this many times in my journey, many times in my corporate life, many times in my coaching business, many times in my building of my network marketing business, and many times just during entrepreneurial life and in every area of life. And that's because, it's not an uphill, linear line of success and progress. Like, God, I wish it was. I mean, wouldn't that just be the dream if everything just went in one amazing direction? But for me, what's happened is I think that actually I have achieved everything I set myself. I have reached a place where everything that I wanted, I have created. I've reached a place where everything that I, dreamt of a few years ago is a current reality. And so as a result, I'm in the place, the in between, right? The space in between before the next level of my goals, before the next level of my growth. And that can feel like a hard place. And a lot of people feel the place of the in-between when they leave a relationship, when they grieve, when they leave a job, change career. We go through like a life transition, right? And when we go through that transition, often we're in the in-between. And the in-between can be a really exhausting place, can be a really draining and boring place to be. So I guess I wanted just to share from my opinion that, I think it's really easy to look at social media and think that I always have it all together all the time. And that's just bullshit. Like, I don't. But what I decide to do is have it together for periods of time for the day to, make sure that my social media gets done and make sure that I speak to my team and my clients and make sure that I do whatever work it is I need to do that day, right? And look, there'll be days where, I've had a to-do list that I've been rocking and rolling on since Sunday. And at the time of recording this, it's Thursday, right? So the reality is most of those are going to get completed till Saturday afternoon. But if I've done it in the 7-day window, which is how I create my lists, then it's still done. And I think what's really important to note is that there is a difference between understanding that you're in the in-between and a place of lack of inspiration and doing what it takes to nourish yourself and nurture yourself back into a good place versus allowing yourself to get away with shit. They are two different things. And I think that mine is a balance of both. And so like tomorrow I'll be going to the gym. Like I've been getting up too late this week, that hasn't been serving me. So like tomorrow I absolutely need to go to the gym. I need to get up earlier. I've got shit to do. I've got a call at 9:50, and that's me calling myself out. And, tonight I could have absolutely sat on the sofa till my first call. I've not done a lot today. Could have kept chiropractor, walked the dog. I could have literally come home, sat on the sofa and done nothing, but I didn't. I fed the dogs, came straight upstairs, and I've been working on their Kickstart plan. And I did that because I was like, if I don't, then I won't get myself into momentum. And by doing that small thing, right, I'm here now recording a podcast, which I've been trying to do since Sunday. So one of the things that I said once, and so many people resonated with it that I want to say it again, is when you don't feel like doing anything, just do something. So a great example is if, let's say you want to clean the house, right? You've got the feeling of cleaning the house is so overwhelming. And, my first tip is get a cleaner. Like that was one of my big goals, is like have a cleaner, because it's just not something I want to do. But let's use that example and analogy. So you got to clean the whole house. That can feel overwhelming. That can feel like, oh God, there's so much to do. Where do I even start? I don't feel like it. But actually, if what you then did was say, what, I'm just going to hoover the lounge. By the time you've got up and hoovered the lounge, you're probably going to hoover the other rooms downstairs. You're probably then going to get the extension out and do the stairs. And then you're probably going to go, well, now I've hoovered, I may as well give everything a dust. And now I've done that, I may as well give everything a wipe down with the anti-bac. Like, do you see my point? And that's because sometimes what often happens is the reason we're lacking inspiration or creativity is we're in a state of inaction, we're in a state of inertia, right? And, the word emotion stands for energy in motion. And if we're not in motion, we feel nothing. And so I think what most people fail to understand is that when you feel nothing, yes, doing nothing sometimes is great. Doing nothing sometimes is good for the soul, good for the mind, good for the body. But doing something is often the key to unlocking the reason why you lost the inspiration in the first place. It's often the key to unlocking what the next solution is or what the next step is. And so I just always trust that take the next baby steps, take the next baby steps, take the next baby step. And So like doing this podcast tonight, I'm sure there's something that I will say whilst I'm recording this that I need to hear myself, I mean, always, but that I will say, and that after this call, after this live, I will come off and be like, oh yeah, there it is. And then there's a clue, and there's another clue, and there's another clue, and there's another clue. And then it draws the dots. Like life isn't about massive revelations. Life is about the compounding of tiny little revelations over time. Like, I learned something the other day about how YouTube works, and I've been using YouTube for 4 years, but if I hadn't been open to the tiny steps, I wouldn't have learned that new thing that, might have a massive impact on my business. And so I think what's really important to understand is that when you feel those times of doubt or inspiration, know that often a big change is not the answer. What you actually need is to start creating momentum. So start by doing the small things, even if it's like, you need to do 10 of something, just do one. So if you need to do one post on, you said you're going to do posts every day this week, just make sure you post 3 times this week. Post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and plan to get next week's content on Saturday. Then next week, build it up to 5 days. Like if you were looking to make a transformation in any area of life, we can't go from 0 to 100, right? We can only take a step and then take another step and then take another step and take another step. And so my advice to you would very much be to follow the same process. If you find yourself lacking in inspiration, lacking in creativity, lacking in decisiveness, lacking in certainty, right? My suggestion to you would be to start small, to start with a baby step. And that is all I've ever done, is start with a baby step. And that baby step led to curiosity, and curiosity led to inspiration, and inspiration led to bigger action, and bigger action led to bigger results. And here we go, and here we go, right? So for me this week, I've allowed myself to indulge a little bit the lack of inspiration. I've spent the first couple of days of this week being kind of quite mellow, just doing what needed to be done, not worrying about getting all the bigger stuff done. Today, I've held myself accountable, right? Because accountability is not consequences. Accountability is ownership. And so I've held myself accountable. I've owned the fact that the goals on my list, it's my list, no one else's list, it's my list, right? I'm the one that created the list, therefore I'm the one that needs to follow the list and do the list. So I've held myself accountable today to getting that list done. And then when I've done that list, then I'm in a position to go, okay, what next? So tomorrow is going to plan to be productive. I might wake up in the morning and not feel productive. I might be exhausted. But if I'm really clear on the baby steps I need to take, I'm going to create momentum anyway. I think we have this illusion that the only way that big things happen is by making big moves. And if I'm totally honest, whenever I've made a big move, it actually stagnates my progress because I'm dealing with the change in the process of a big move. And that's probably why you're in a place of lack of inspiration, uncertainty, lack of clarity in the first place. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully me sharing a little bit about my experience about feeling like we're in the in-between, feeling like that sense of uncertainty and lack of inspiration can advise you, can guide you on your next step when you're feeling that lull of inspiration or that lull of motivation. So I hope you have the most beautiful week. I look forward to speaking to you soon. And that was the way that I see it.